What's up, journeyers? Hey, welcome back to another video.
Today we're going to be discussing how and where to carry according to your body type. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Concealed Journey. I'm Damien and this is Corey. You know, we're realizing that really there's only two types of people in this world. Those who pee in the shower and dirty, dirty liars.
And if you don't want to be a dirty liar, go ahead and blast that thumbs up button and kind of wander up this way and go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you want to stay up to date with all the videos we're putting out every week just for you.
So to get things started, we're going to cover some of the gear initially that we're going to be going over in this video, and suffice it to say we're not going to necessarily go over each individual piece of equipment. We've covered that in another video, so feel free to refer to that. That's going to be up at the top of your screen over there. Some of the things that we're going to address specifically, like in order, first of all, is we're going to go over outside the waistband at 3 or 4 o'clock. Then we're going to cover inside the waistband, specifically appendix with a standalone holster, then moving over to appendix carry with a mag caddy, and then solely inside the waistband at 4 o'clock over there.
I think the important thing to remember is we're really focusing around the waistband. There's a lot of other options for you ladies out there. Corset types, thigh types for under your dress, ways for you to carry. And obviously we don't want to talk about that because we have no experience in that. But we'll put some links down below to some other YouTube channels that you can follow and really get some great information that'll support that if you're looking for that specific type of holster.
First of all, I think it's super important to mention that no matter how or where you carry, you've got to make sure that it's going to be comfortable for you, because if carrying a gun is going to be agonizing or at the least just uncomfortable, you're likely not going to carry. So it's important for you to take the time to do a little bit of research, maybe try out some friends' holsters. Just carry them around in your house at first, because like I said, if it's uncomfortable, you're likely not going to carry, and that totally defeats the purpose of being armed, you know, for self-protection or for the defense of others, right? So,
yeah. And for me, I know the functionality of appendix carry and the importance of just being able to access that gun as quick as possible as opposed to other positions that we're going to talk about here in this video. But also, I've let COVID go a little bit. I know I've got a pooch and a dad bod going, and I've learned to pull my pants down a little bit more, sag a little bit, and try and tuck that firearm up under so it actually hangs over a little bit. There's a great video we'll link below called the 300th Parallel by Warrior Poet Society, and they really talk about, man, if you're over that size, how to carry appendix in that way.
For sure. Absolutely. So moving on into the different styles of carry, first off is going to be outside the waistband. And this is going to be a holster that sits outside of your pants with the belt running through it. An advantage of this is that it can be a little bit more comfortable actually, because you don't have a gun riding in between your pants and your body. It sits on the outside. Sometimes what I find is that it requires a little bit larger of a garment to carry outside the waistband, because now you're adding dimensions away from the center line of your body, and you'll typically need a looser garment to cover this as well as hang below it. If this is sitting on my waistline and my shirt only comes to here, and then I reach up to grab something off of a top shelf, let's say at some department store, you're going to start getting exposure of that holster, which isn't necessarily the end of the world, but the point of concealed carrying is to remain inconspicuous. So advertising that you've got a gun kind of defeats the purpose. It seems a little counterintuitive and counterproductive, in fact. So this is a fine way to carry. Typically this is like a range carry though, not so much concealed carry. I think being as at the point of the video is discussing different body types, most folks that have a little bit of love in the front, they gravitate toward 4 o'clock outside the waistband, because it seems that they don't necessarily have their stomach in the way of the holster. But I mean, some folks with different body types, they've got love handles or muffin top or whatever, and I think that's going to be just as uncomfortable, which maybe then they'll switch over to 3 o'clock. What's important is that you find somewhere on your body that's going to be comfortable and that you just carry a gun in general. But I carry 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock outside the waistband sometimes, like at work. I work in a gun store, so it's kind of like recommended that I carry. If I don't feel like carrying appendix, then I'll carry outside the waistband at 4 o'clock, just kind of for something different. It does seem to be a little bit more comfortable. It makes bending down and sitting a little bit nicer throughout the day, to be honest. But What do you have to add about that as far as body type, I guess?
Yeah, it's really comfortable, but just the accessibility of your firearm is, I mean, there's so many different downsides to carrying at the 3-4 o'clock position. I mean, even from just printing, like you said, that prints if you bend over, reach up to grab anything. But if you go to draw from that side, you've got so much, I mean, to defeat over here, and then the gun just snags on this side so many times when you're coming up on your shirt. So it is a lot more comfortable, but you're sacrificing just speed, reliability of trying to get that out and get that up into a presentation position.
Yeah, I think also one reason I carry Appendix is because I like to see the gun coming out of and re-entering the holster. That's one thing that's not at least in the favor of 4 o'clock carry, but like we already said, it needs to be comfortable wherever you carry, and you just need to carry. So if for some reason, whether you're scared of where the gun is pointed in Appendix Carry, or if it's just physically not possible for you to carry because of a large abdomen, then carry at 4 o'clock. We aren't trying to sell you on Appendix Carry. Let's get that straight. I mean, this is supposed to be somewhat of an overview, somewhat of at least different talking points as to options where you can carry a gun on your body depending given body types. Another thing, actually, we've got a member of TCJ that he's got a bit of a belly on him, and he carries a 5-shot Smith & Wesson 340 PD in a pocket holster. That's how he carries. And even though I'd prefer that he carries a semi-automatic handgun with 15+1 round mag capacity, at least he is carrying a gun. He is at least carrying a gun, so kudos for that. And if that's what it takes for that guy to be carrying a gun, so be it. Obviously, I think there are more efficient weapons out there for him to have on his body, but at least he's got a gun. At least he's got a gun.
So let's get into inside the waistband. One thing to note is I like to have some type of garment in between myself and just my flesh, my skin, and the firearm. I notice sometimes sights that get sharp, just sharp edges on this, so I like to have something in there. Plus in the summer I sweat, so it's nice to keep this, from getting all sweaty and stinky. And I also like in the winter, it's cold. I don't want some metal firearm up against my flesh getting really cold, and so that's some important thing to talk about how we carry when it's inside the waistband. This is my wife's holster and her Glock 19. She's got the ulti clips on it. These are great.
Super cool.
If you don't want to wear a belt, or for ladies, if you're wearing leggings or anything like that. Sometimes if I go to the gym, obviously I haven't been in a while, but I like to wear these because it really clips on nicely. These suckers are stiff. It keeps the holster inside the waistband really well. Obviously, a belt is the best way to go, but this is kind of my extra option for those moments like that.
Yeah.
What do you want to add for inside the waistband like that?
In a standalone holster, this is something that I think the Ulti clips are fantastic as far as like making sure that the holster retains with your pants as you draw the gun. Ulti clips are phenomenal for that. Whereas like, as an example on this A&R design holster here, standalone as well. And when we say standalone, we mean without the spare mag caddy with it. On a standalone holster, and whereas this one specifically, it has this just uni belt clip right here, aside from the Ulti clips. If you're going to wear this with a pair of shorts or without a belt, the chances that this whole holster is going to come with the gun as you draw it, it's pretty high. I've practiced drawing a gun with a clip like this from like gym shorts or something like that, and I have about 50% success rate where the holster will come with it or the holster won't. Whereas that's the advantage for the Ulti clip in that case in point, is because those lock on so tight to your undergarment. I mean, your shorts are going to come up to your nipples before the holster leaves the shorts for sure. So
for sure.